I am here at the Second City taking my very first improv class. I'm very, very nervous about this.
I really, really, really wish that Mexican places would stop selling tacos. No Taco Tuesday! I don't want any more Taco Tuesday! Not!
We are here in Chicago at one of its most iconic establishments. I mean, people like Steve Carrell, Stephen Colbert, Chris Farley, Tina Fey, and even Oprah have walked through these doors and taken classes. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us, so come on, let's check it out.
What started as a series of games to help immigrant children adjust to American culture transformed into the art of improvisation, the foundation of the Second City, one of the most recognizable comedy schools across the globe.
The mission was so strongly rooted in that political and social satire. That's what made Second City unique. We're here to make people think. All the while, we're really hoping that you laugh and it can kind of function as that escape from whatever's happening in your life. People are drawn to this place because of an open-mindedness. I think that can mean, on a political end, I think that can mean open-mindedness towards experimenting within the business.
I know when we think of this place, it's theater, we don't think of business because that's just not what comes to mind. But there is a unique business proposition here.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
is that?
I think it's evolved over time, and I would say that the core of it hasn't changed, which is the idea of improvisation is how you communicate, how you listen, and it all grows from those games.
Yeah, let's go there!
So doing a scene in improv, it's all about just saying what's on your mind, right? And listening and responding. For this one, it's just fun, silly, small scenes.
Just put the money in the bag, okay? We won't have to kill anybody.
Derek, I want to go home.
Hi, I'm Peaches, and this is my whole kitchen where I bake and do everything that I love.
Now, what we've done is we've taken those principles and we've recognized an opportunity to introduce that practice to anyone who's looking to better themselves. And that's really where the training center came into play.
It became very important to the owner of the company, Andrew Alexander, that the company was known for more than the shows. And somebody in a publication had said that, the Second City, it's just an alcohol-driven comedy club. And I think he wanted to bring more credibility to the brand and the institution as a whole. So the training center really started to thrive when there was energy put behind that. What started out just like in the room behind me, like a workshop here and there, really, 30 years ago, we started to really develop a school. And now it is huge, and it's a thriving part of the business from a financial perspective, but it's just so crucial to the success of the professional side of our company.
How do you balance that fine line between being an artist and being in the theater, and then also on the other side of it is being business and marketing your own company without being a sellout, and still providing that foundation of here's where we make dreams come true and we really allow you to be a better person?
Yeah, it is a tricky balance because we are oftentimes a for-profit that needs to think like a nonprofit. It is a dichotomy of we need to generate revenue, but the core of what we do is innovation and art. So I think what has been established, especially when you look at our leadership team and even our owners, is that we have a system of checks and balances where we are constantly having that conversation when decisions are made. Is, are we honoring the art? Are we taking that into consideration? As well as, are we prioritizing our decision making and where we're making our investments to those areas that we know are going to generate money?
Like all good businesses, the Second City identified its customers' needs and opened its doors to anyone with a desire to learn life skills from their improvisation classes.
Now the training center is completely different. It's not just for talent, it's for people that are in finance and that are at other places. Can you kind of dive into that a little bit?
The reason that came about is early on in my time here, I started to realize that there were some people that were taking our beginning improvisation program for reasons completely separate from a professional track. Taking an improv class, it works that muscle, it builds that self-confidence and comfort level, and that could be, you know, from a severe case of somebody who really just doesn't want to leave their house because it's that stressful for them, to, you know, an executive level person who just doesn't like being interviewed or being on camera or speaking in front of a room or even just leading a meeting.
I had the opportunity to sit down with a business professional who found success taking classes within the Second Cities program for professional development.
My name is Courtney Sanger. I'm Managing Director of CRM at CIBC Bank USA, and I've been taking classes at the Second City for 2 years.
What made you come here to the school and the training program and the theater itself?
I never realized that improvisation applied to the business world.
Yeah.
So in that 2-hour workshop, just learning how these games that you play, the performances that you see, how that applies to quote unquote the real world was kind of mind blowing for those couple hours.
Yeah.
And so I filed that one away, that this was something I wanted to pursue after the fact.
Can you give me some real life examples of where you saw yourself take what you learned at the Second City and apply it in real life?
Right away, I realized that I was not a good listener. I was listening to be waiting for you to stop talking so that I could make my point.
Got it.
And I knew my point was going to be brilliant and it was going to solve every problem. Right away, I learned that that is not the way to go through life. So those listening skills, those being present in the moment, not working on my response, not thinking about later in the day, that changed so much with my team that I manage, with the teams that I work with, almost right away. So I went back to the office, did a little more research. They were offering a 4-week program. I recruited my team to come with me to take that class as team building, to become more comfortable being uncomfortable.
How did you see the benefits of the Second City help them?
Becoming less scripted and more prepared. That's something I saw in myself as well. I was very scripted, very polished, but if someone would ask a question that I wasn't prepared for, I didn't know how to handle that well. I was afraid of looking like I didn't know the answer.
Yeah.
And now I've come to realize it's not a bad thing. It's okay to not have all the answers.
Yeah.
And it's okay to go off script.
Highest out of a book.
I was supposed to get down on one knee with you, right? How does this,
I actually think it's great. It shows commitment that we are
Should I
on
go
the
back?
same page.
What does the future of the Second City hold?
I think we have individuals here that are constantly trying to figure out how to leverage these practices of improvisation in a way to better people.
We've done some really great work with people with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and we're working on a program now actually for the caregivers of some of these populations, which is it's just amazing. I mean, it just completely, it warms my heart like you can't believe. You know, we think of ourselves as just this really fun comedy institution, and we are, and we do incredible work on these stages. But I mean, we truly have changed a lot of people's lives. I mean, people who were, you know, in pretty desperate situations. I think as long as we hold on to those stories, we're never going to get too far away from the core mission of the company.
It's funny because that's basically what you described as the mission in 1959. I mean, don't fix what ain't broke, right?
Yeah.
Keep doing the same thing that you're doing and just add to it in different ways.
Thanks for joining us, Kendall! Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Seriously, guys, being at this iconic establishment here in Chicago has been incredible. We told you never know what you're going to get here on the Grow Wire Show, so make sure you stay tuned in for next time. Okay, I'm getting off. Oh my God.